Welcome to the VST channel. In today's video you're going to see a log 4K 30 FPS video recorded with the stock camera, the Pro mode. I'm going to walk you through all the settings. I'm going to show some of the color grading that you can do directly from the app with loot files. And of course at the end observe the footage that I'm going to color grade in Premiere. Alright, now let's check the camera interface and see where we can shoot log video. If I go to the ultra wide, you see immediately that I'm not able to do so. If I go to the telephoto camera, it's the same. I have only the option to shoot between the resolution and the frame rate. But if I go inside the main camera, I can activate log. So just I select the telephoto camera, select log, I'm directly transferred to the main sensor. Let's start with the menu. The first toggle here is the microphone, so we have the omnidirectional, the forward, the rear, trajectory and also audio zoom. Then we have here this menu down below. First thing is the out-wide balance. You can go from 2000, which is very cold, to 8000 kelvins, which is very hot. I'm gonna select this to auto. Then we have the autofocus here, or the focus setting. So now it's an auto, we have manual focus and you can go up to infinity. I'm gonna keep this to auto. Then we have the shutter speed from 1/8000 guys to 1/30. Again, I'm gonna keep this to auto. And then we have the aperture. As you know, the Xiaomi 14 Pro comes with a variable aperture, so I can go as wide open as 1/42 and I can go and close it to 40. Let's try to keep the biggest one. And of course ISO. 50 ISO guys, up to 12,800 ISO. And last but not least, I have the EV, which will allow me to correct the exposure. I'm gonna keep of course this also to 0, just to have a center image. Now that's very important guys. I have a button called loot, and when I click the button I can import directly loot files. But what are those loot files guys? So remember, we're shooting log 4K video. So remember, we're shooting log video that has 30 frames per second, but it's not raw video, so it's still compressed. But what are then the benefits? What are the gains in the log video? Well, as you can see guys, it shoots a very desaturated image. Let me show what I mean. If I'm to select a loot, and loot is a file that has some settings that will color grade a video, you can just see how the video will change. But even if I record like this guys, I will only get this as a preview in my viewfinder, so the footage in the end will still look down like this, which really allows a lot of post-processing options in color grading. So the benefit of the log video is that you record a very flat image with the highest possible dynamic range, and then later on you have options to color grade it the way you want. So technically it's not a raw video, and in terms of size it's very smaller compared to raw. And it's also processed, but it's very desaturated, and the main advantage in the log video is that you can capture a lot of dynamic range, right, and then later go and color code it, and you can even import your own LUT files here, which is quite nice. And this here is 4K 30 FPS log video on the Xiaomi 14 Pro. By the way, because I'm shooting on the main camera guys, I can also do some magnification, and I can go as up to 6x, which will be a crop from the main camera. Remember, I cannot cycle when I'm shooting log. Alright, now you can see on your screen the color graded version. I'm gonna show the color graded version, and I'm gonna go back to the log one, which is the more desaturated version of video. Please let me know what you think down below in the comments. In terms of file video size guys, that's one of the benefits of the log video. It will technically have about the same size, something like 2 GB for a 5 minutes file that is 4K 30 FPS. Right, so again, the option here is that we can go for a wider dynamic range and then color grade it the way we want in post-processing. Just thinking about how far smartphone cameras went right now, it's just crazy. From just capturing still images years ago to starting to capture video, and then at the end being able to capture raw photos and raw video, then going through HDR and all kind of post-processing improvements, things like stacking and layering, to the fact where Google came up with this computational photography, which is technically even not a photography, like at least not a pure one. It's really impressive. Well, let's check how close I can get to those items. And now I'm going inside a darker area where we can estimate the level of the dynamic range captured, because right now I am standing here in the dark zone, right, and we have some very bright footage outside. Xiaomi 14 Pro 4K 30 FPS log video, Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 guys. Does anybody use log video, guys? Do you use it for post-production and color grading? Because technically that's not something I'm gonna do on an everyday basis. But if I know that I'm able to capture more or wider dynamic range with about the same size and then color grade it the way I want, it could be suitable for some events. Why not? This was our 4K 30 FPS log video test on the newest Xiaomi phone, the Xiaomi 14 Pro. Well, let me know what you think down below in the comments, guys. Thank you so much for watching and for all the support. I really appreciate it. VST over and bye.